Thank you for watching Skillful Teaching with Dr. Angela. I'm Angela McCord, Skillful Teacher and Education Consultant. Thank you for tuning in today to the Teacher Side Hustle. I have a very special guest that I will share with you, and don't leave without subscribing because at 500 subscribers, I will have a super duper drawing for a prize. Thank you so much for watching my channel. You are definitely in for a treat today, skillful teachers. I have a skillful teacher here with me today who is going to be outlining her side hustle, Miss Valencia Kinlaw Scott. So I had the pleasure of working with this young lady in Beaufort County, and she was also a skillful teacher and a fabulous teacher to my daughter, G. Ashley. So I decided to have her on today to talk about the teacher side hustle because you are really going to be interested. Ms. Kinlaw Scott has created her own business on the side as a teacher, and she has Brown Girls Designs. So she is into creating graphic tees and tumblers, and she does a great job. Now, I didn't realize this was her side hustle until later on when I first met her as a teacher of my daughter. I had some other benefits of her side hustle. But she doesn't want to talk about those cupcakes and cakes right now. She didn't want to talk about that anymore. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to have her tell us a little bit about herself. Miss Kinlaw Scott, take it away. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your skillful teaching journey.
Sure. Okay, well, I am a business education teacher. I've been teaching for 18 years now. And as you mentioned before, my first side hustle was baking cakes. I kind of just fell into that one because I like cakes, love to eat cakes. But we're here today to talk about my current side hustle, which is making graphic tees and tumblers. And I kind of just fell into that because my son is plays football. My daughter's cheerleader, and just a parent who purchased shirts from another business, and I blinged them, got them blinged out. And I was tired of spending my money with someone else, so I decided I was going to try to make them for myself. And so I started making my own t-shirts just so that I could wear it to the game and put my son's name on it, his number. And then other parents would ask me. And so I started making shirts for them. And more people started asking. So then that's kind of how it became to be. And 15 years later, I'm still kind of making shirts. But now we have a bona fide business, Brown Girl Designs. Have a Facebook page, a website, should be launched soon. So yeah, that's where we are now.
That's awesome. And I'll be sure to put all of that information so people can contact you in the description box below. So tell us a little bit about some of the questions that people have asked you over the years about your business. For instance, starting up. Tell us about what it takes to start up.
Starting up can vary. I mean, it just depends on your personal situation. Some people are able to, invest 500. Some people are able to invest 1,000. So really that's going to kind of determine how you go about starting up. If you have less money available to you, then you'll probably need to purchase more items that are already made so that you can make t-shirts faster. If you have more money at your disposal, you may be able to buy more equipment as far as, a Cricut. I started off with a smaller machine and then I graduated to a larger machine. So I have a few machines. The more resources you have, the more items you can purchase. But you can start off with probably as little as $200. You can use, a site and buy the transfers and get you some t-shirts, and definitely get YouTube because there's a wealth of information there. People who are where you are, in the beginning, the middle, the end, in different stages, and they can show you how they progressed and the things they did and tips and tricks. So that's definitely one of the places that you can start, but there's definitely a range as far as the startup costs.
And it sounds like there's some pretty good support out there too. So if you're looking for, someone to bounce ideas off of or to ask questions to get started, there's some support groups as well.
Absolutely. There's tons of support groups out there. As with any group, some people are supportive, some people not so much. So you have to get the support where you can. But there are lots of sites on Facebook that are geared towards women who are crafting. Some people are just crafting for fun. Some people are in it full time, 100%. So you have different variations of people in business. But there's, plethora of sites on Facebook. I just kind of, usually once you join one, I think the first one I joined was Black Girls Cricket. Once you join one, the other ones will start popping up and people will mention them in the group, and then you'll join another one. And then before you look, you'll be in 20 groups.
Wow. Yeah, that's our life right now, right? 20 groups. Okay. So tell me a little bit about the resources that it takes to have a business such as yours.
Okay, so as I mentioned before, you're going to have the equipment side. Right now I have a couple cutters. I have 2 printers. I have to have a couple computers because things break down and they malfunction. So you have to have a backup plan. I have a heat press. I have one, but there are lots of people that have several heat press because things, like I said, things fail. And if you have an order and your heat press doesn't plug in, it's not like you can go run to Walmart and buy a heat press. So you've got to have a backup plan for that. Shirts, have some shirts behind me. So you have to have that and lots of vinyl. So yeah.
Lots of vinyl.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the time commitment that it takes. Since this is a side hustle and you are a full-time teacher, how does that work?
I would say the time commitment is going to vary based on the type of business you have. If you are a person who relies heavily on pre-made transfers, meaning that someone else has made them and you're just purchasing them, it will cost you more money, so you'll have less profits, but you will have more time. You'll have to invest less time, so you'll have more time to yourself and to your family. If you're on the other end where you creating everything is very customized and you are the artist, you're creating the files, you're cutting the files, that can be very time consuming. But you have more of the profits to yourself. So it just depends. It's a large scale. So you have to just decide where you want to go. Now I go from both ends daily. Okay. There's some things that I don't want to invest the time in to make. And I decided I don't want to spend 4 hours today doing that. So I'm going to go and pay someone else that has already created it. And then I'm going to use that file. Or I'll see something that's pretty simple and I don't want to pay someone to create it. I can do it in maybe 30 or 40 minutes and I'm going to go do it. So you just go back and forth. There's no box as far as that's concerned. It just depends on your personal lifestyle and what, basically you want to get out of your business.
It sounds very interesting, and it sounds like you can begin with not so much. If you have a little to start with, and you can build on that and learn more and more and build up as well. But either way, having a side hustle and having a home-based business is it's great for anyone, because the one thing it's going to do is help you save with taxes. So everybody
Absolutely.
likes to talk about, Donald Trump. Sometimes I think, and I heard a wise woman say, and she's a financial consultant, and she talked about, while we don't see his tax returns, I don't think it's so much that he's doing something illegal. If we saw it, he has the blueprint,
Right.
He has the blueprint.
He's got all the secrets.
All the secrets.
We don't know.
They would all be out, right?
Right.
So, I'm trying to learn them as well as you, a little bit at a time. So we know
Absolutely.
that having a home-based business and being teacher and having that side hustle, that's going to save us in a lot of taxes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us, let's talk about 3 tips you might want to tell people that want to go into this business, graphic tees and designs. And by the way, you talked about tumblers as well. I wanted to show one of my tumblers that you made for me. This is awesome. I hope you guys can see it there. This is very nice. Just give us some tips.
I would say for this business, it's going to be a lot of marketing, and it doesn't have to be marketing that costs you money. I mean, you have Facebook is there. You can utilize Facebook. You can utilize word of mouth, but you have to market. No one's going to know that you're selling shirts or what you have available if they can't see it. So, I mean, I market it all the time. I'm marketing it right now. I'm wearing a t-shirt, it's usually mine.
Nice. And your kids probably, I'm sure.
And my kids wear my shirts a lot, but people
Your
come up
son,
to me,
right?
right, say, "Where'd you get that shirt?" Oh, I made it, and then I give them a card. So you have to be a person who's willing to market. Another thing is, I would say you have to be willing to put some time. It's not something that you're going to learn overnight. There are some learning curves, and even now, I've been doing this forever. There's always something new in a t-shirt business. So I'm always learning. I stay on YouTube, Facebook, learning something new.
Yeah.
So
That's the skillful teacher mindset.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. Learning a better way to do something, a cheaper way to do something. If you are not of that mindset, you're going to waste a lot of time and money. To be honest, shirts are very easy to sell. I mean, they're a low end commitment. People commit to $15, $20. They will. So I would say, because I've seen a lot of people want to do t-shirt business because it sounds great and it sounds easy, and it can be, but as I said, you got to have some creative juices flowing as well. You can't look at another person and say, well, if I just get all the stuff and go home, then I'm going to create the same items that they create, because that's not necessarily true. Because I see some shirts out right now that they probably spent a few more hours on YouTube. They're not very good. So I would just say, invest the time and energy in your craft before you put it out. Because once you put it out, then you can't get it back. That first impression type thing. So if you have people walking around with crappy shirts and, the vinyl's coming off, then people are going to, probably put that with your reputation, and you won't be able to get that back. So just make sure you go slow. You have all your little ducks in a row before you put it out there into the atmosphere. And you just take the time and effort, and just be intentional about what you're trying to do. Okay.
Yeah. Intentional. That's a great word.
Yes. If you're trying to make money, then you have to keep that at the forefront, but not to the point where you are cutting corners and you don't have quality. So just keeping everything in the forefront of whatever it is you're trying to do is what I would say. And that's pretty much, that's a general for anything you're doing as far as business, I would think. So all that's kind of stuff I tell my students, and we talk about it, and I tell them, this is theory, but it doesn't always, you know exactly what you're supposed to do, but application is something totally different. So, we talk about business planning and all of that other stuff, and I'm like, I found myself thinking, we've talked about this in class, but this isn't quite how I thought it would go. So
right. You teach it, right?
I teach it, yes. But in the book, everything goes according to plan. Everything is X, Y, it's just according to plan. But in real life, we have little, side roads and, roadblocks that pop up in your way. So just be persistent but patient, I would say.
That sounds like great advice, Valencia. I really like how you pointed out theory versus practical, right? and
Yes.
how there needs to be a balance. You need to know theory and have that knowledge, but also be ready for the practical to happen. Yeah, that makes sense. What's that behind you that you have?
That's my number one seller for this week. My Juneteenth shirt there. And she's standing in front of my cabinet, guys. So this is my craft cabinet. So one of the things, depending on your situation, you may not have a designated craft room. You may be using another room. I was hidden away and spending tons of hours on crafts away from my family. So I decided I wanted to come back down to the family, but I still need a way to hide all of this stuff. So there is a nifty craft boxes out. And let me just tell you, there are going to be so many things that you see that you're going to want that's commercially produced. It's going to cost an exorbitant amount of money. Figure out how you're going to do it. So there's a craft box. It's like $2,100 to purchase. You have to put it together for yourself. $2,100 sounds like someone's going to come and put it together for you, right?
Right.
Yeah, you had to put it together yourself, but it was really nice though. It opens up, it has a table and all the stuff that comes out, and then it folds up. So I found a DIY video where this girl was putting together her own craft box. It's supposed to be similar to that one. And it cost maybe about $400 for us to put it together. So we bought the bookshelves and put them together, and they're on wheels. Want me to demonstrate?
Sure.
It closes. So if it's in a room and you just want to close it off, you can close it and have everything in there, and then it's open, and you can put all your little trays in there and just whatever you want. But it's storage. Because you're going to definitely need storage. And you're going to need to have storage where you can get to the stuff. So, yeah, that's my DIY craft closet there. That's been a lifesaver.
That is nice. And wow, what a whopping savings, right? We'll definitely drop her video link in the description box below.
Okay.
Because that's definitely worth a look. That looks awesome. I think I need something for that. I'm not showing my background today. Okay, that is awesome. Thank you so much, Valencia, for taking the time out of your day to share with skillful teachers about your side hustle and your wonderful business. I just love that. Brown Girls Designs and making the graphic tees and tumblers, and you do a great job with that as well. Any parting words for the skillful teachers?
I would just say, if you have a desire to do something, don't be afraid. I would say that I've probably been kind of just sliding along for quite some time. And when I came out with kind of relaunch, all my friends were like, what have you been waiting for? We've been waiting for you. We have been waiting for this. So I would say if you have it in your heart and you have the abilities, go for it. What's the worst that can happen?
Right. Absolutely. Oh, well, I know what could happen. You could be very, very, very busy like you are now, right?
Yes. But it's a good kind of busy.
Absolutely. Right. Well, thank you again for joining us. We really appreciate you sharing this with us, just reminding us that we can do other things as well on the side to help us during our skillful teaching journey. And I'm so happy that you decided to share this, because we know we need to work together and share with each other, because when we do that, sharing is caring, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And we know that quality teaching is quality education.